Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to continue to take a look at the scenario where civilization starts over. In the last episode, I think some stuff happened in Asia, I believe. I don't know, I forgot, Loki. But stuff did happen. And today the Age of Empires is going to finally end. I'm not going to tell you why yet. I'm not going to tell you how yet. I'm not going to tell you the year yet. But it's going to end in this episode. I'm not even going to say when it ends in this episode. But I think you guys are already starting to understand when, so it's not a big deal really. But anyways, let's get into this wonderful scenario. Because, Southeast Asia, you might be next. As we see, the Balearic Empire has decided, you know what, let's do one final conquest. So you'll see that that's not tough, GNG. Well, we see that this happens as which the Balearic Empire is taking big advantage of Cambodia. It's starting, and they're stronger than Cambodia, of course. Also, sorry if my voice sounds weird. I'm kind of sick, but I just wanted to end this thing once and for all because I really wanted to record today, so stuff. But we'll see that it just really is matter of Cambodia will actually try to resist because it's not an easy territory to control. But the Balearics just burn down everything, and then we'll see the Belgians join in. Why? Well, it's because they have a bone to pick with the Balearics, of course. Then we'll see Laos join in to save what's left of Cambodia. And we arrive here while this province is claimed by Belgium too. So they're starting to have tension between the guys. But now we see something unique happening, as the Balearic Empire actually decided to make Cambodia a dominion instead of a straight up part of them. Because they're a little bit unstable, so they decided maybe that administrating the empire a little bit better is good. So this is what they did. For this reason, some colonies might gain autonomy. Not right now though. Cambodia is the only place, except Genoa, where they are a puppet state, but they're not a colony. They are part of the Balearic mainland. Balearic mainland is like all of Iberia, of course, up into this, and then also parts of Africa, yes, and also the Caribbean and Florida, because of course Florida is part of the mainland. So, anyways, we see Belgium also has annexed some land, and the world is starting to get filled up. You guys better be careful. But in the following years, we're probably in 1860s, 1770s, 1880s by now. I probably said the date in the last episode, but Loki forgot. So, stuff. But we see that this is starting to get explored by the Balearics, which is also improving their navy a lot. So massive. All of Papua has been discovered. Thanks to this, they will also make some landings over here and connect each other. So kind of, and but for now, this is what I managed to do with Australia. New Zealand. Oh, they do discover New Zealand. All of it, actually. They do find Kiwis, but Kiwis aren't really that aggressive towards Balearics. This is. I would think almost all of the Pacific has been discovered, and the Balearics will have to discover all of it because Philippines are scared as lot. Like they're really scared now. So they aren't really focusing on exploring because they finally found another rival which is pretty strong and also stronger than them and already defeated them once. So they're pretty scared. In the Americas we see of course the Balearics have other businesses to do. They don't really worry about giving autonomy to these small islands because no one lives there. So like why do we need it? So it's a pretty chill thing this time, and so we see this happening. I look forgot what I was saying because I went to do so. Because of course, oh, recording this is going to be hell. Well, not really. I do enjoy recording. Now look at it. I think all of these islands are now Balearic. Well, of course, I'm going to do power rankings at the end of this episode since it's the end of the Age of Empires. But in the following years, we will see that this will happen, of course, and we'll just have this enough and then this ends. So it will take a while, but most of the world will probably get conquered today. Oh, but now we see Persia. Oh, poor Persia. Oslo actually decides to invade them. And this is kind of leading to a fit of rage. But like really, Caspia is really angry about this. Egypt is really angry about this. Now now they're starting to like a bit more the Balearics than the Oslos. Because the Balearics, sure, they are dangerous. But they didn't really care about the Middle East. Well, Oslo went all in the freaking Middle East. And can you guys guess why they went all in the Middle East? Of course it's oil, of course. Look at these beautiful borders. Aren't they wonderful? Yeah, Mesopotamia now doesn't like Oslo and is scared for their life. So they join Egypt African Pact because no one wants to mess with Egypt. Oslo would probably lose a war against Egypt overseas. On mainland they could maybe pull it off, but overseas Egypt will just destroy them. But now we'll see that Belgium, yeah, it's that deep. They need to invade the Himalayas too. They do have trouble doing it, but somehow they manage to do it. This is making Caspia even more mad. They just Europeans just went there, absolutely destroyed Asia, and are starting to diminish the number of countries and start their big colonial empires. But now, guess who's going to be next? Yes, Vietnam and the Balearics will not invade first. The Belgians will. And because of this, the Balearics will kind of be forced to invade. They don't really want to support Laos because that's not Vietnam, that's Laos. I literally made them Laos to make a Laotian country because Laos deserves more recognition. Or do they? I don't know. It's literally jungle, but who cares? But now we see in the peace treaty, Belgium did expand. But the Balearic Empire, of course, has gained a better amount of the deal. Laos has been added to their Indochina. And this is kind of cursed, I know. Imagine Norway coming here suddenly, colonizing the Americas, colonizing India, and Persia, and Arabia, and Somalia. This is just crazy. But guys, we haven't finished yet. I will see Belgian troops landing into South China. Wait, no, this is Guangxi. But Guangxi, oh, Guangxi knows how to throw ends. Or do they? Because the Belgians just do this, and the Balearic Empire actually is not joining in. Because really, they do not care about Guangxi. And in fact, they're going to send some aid. The aid does help because this happens. But Belgium does manage to find out about the aid, diplomatic crisis, and the Balearic have to stop, otherwise a world war could break out. And no one wants a world war like that. So we do see eventually the Belgians coming out on top and absolutely destroying Guangxi. Balearic Empire will annex with Guangxi consent the island of Hainan and also this small panhandle. Well, the rest will go to Belgium, which now has a huge border. Let's take a look at the wonderful peace treaty. So now I'm going to talk about how Europeans treat the colonizers. Well, it depends from country to country. Oslo was a good colonizer, and they still kind of are, but did do some bad things. Belgium, oh no, they're not a good colonizer. Look at what they're doing in the Congo. Wait, no! Yeah, another Congo reference because I can't get tired of it. Yeah, they're doing bad things to Guangxi too. Guangxi hates being under Belgian rule. They like the Balearics more. This could lead into something for the future. So we see actually something else is going to happen, which is um, wait, what? Yeah, they're that deep. Yes, they lost another thing, another one. The Philippines are getting jumped by two different colonial powers. Now, in the following years, we'll see the Balearics will just looking into the Pacific Ocean without caring about Asia or something. So we see that Balearics will make a landing over here in South Australia, and then they will traverse the desert with a deadly march, in which most explorers do die into this deadly march. The deadly march is called, in fact. That's why it's called like that, because people die, and it's dangerous, desert, sand, all that. But we see that the Australian coast will get settled pretty quickly. The desert is going to be harder to settle, while New Zealand, it will immediately get settled because for some reason Balearics really do like New Zealand. Maybe because it's far away and easy to control. Well, not really, but New Zealanders are pretty chill people. At least in this universe. I don't know real life. But we see that actually doing stuff. As the Balearics are now getting hella scared. What's happening? Because now Philippines being surrounded everywhere. They're going to extend neutral in every world war now because of this. They're not the type of funding both sides because their economy is kind of trash right now. Their economy sucks. And guess now, they were forced to sell some islands to the Balearics. All those years spent trying to rule the Pacific has been wasted because of a foreign country. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I think we did it. We did it, guys. All of the world has been fully claimed, explored, and conquered. We see that the Balearic Empire were, of course, the final ones who end this. And now we're going to do power rankings because of what's coming next. So, first place, obviously, the Balearic Empire, just too strong. There's lands in every single continent at least, I think. They do have land in Europe, they do have land in Africa, they do have land in North and South America. There are already four continents. They do have land in Asia, five. They do have land in Oceania. Well, Antarctica. Antarctica isn't on this map, there, but they probably do have land there too. But now, what's going to happen next? Will shock you. As we see that it's 1888, guys. We need a good number. So we 8088. Industrial Revolution has popped out. We see that the four big powers are still four big powers, and they're really, we can call them superpowers, but they do not have nukes, so they can't really be called that. So we see that this is really heading into chaos. But we have two different alliances, the CTO between Belgium, Ireland, and Oslo. And then we do have the the how can we call the Balearic Baltic Alliance? The 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 wait the Overseas Dominion. It's a good name, but well, it can be called like that. So the Overseas Dominion is their temper. If you guys have any better names in the comments, please tell me. Wait, the maritime domain is a little bit better. The maritime domain, yeah, this cool. But these two alliances are pretty powerful. First place we got the Balearics. Second we have the Belgians. At third we have Oslo. At fourth we have the Baltic Empire. Notice how these four guys are pretty close to each other. They're not really interchangeable, but Belgium with that did get really close to the first spot. It might be 1A, 1B, but not really. The Balearics still have that one number one spot. Oslo is pretty far away from the Baltic. They're pretty stronger. Baltic Empire is the weaker of the four, but they're still pretty strong. And they do have some allies which could help them. But anyways, let's do get in this place because it's time. It's time to do something. The Balearic Empire has become too much strong. They've been bossing around everyone for a lot, too much actually. They have jumped the Italian countries. They are ruling the Mediterranean Sea for ages. They've won against African countries. Egypt hasn't done anything to stop them, and it really seems useless. Democracy doesn't exist, but Bulgaria Empire is a dictatorship. All the other countries are monarchies, other than the Baltic, which of course are a dictatorship. Kola is a dictatorship. Archangelsk is actually an absolute monarchy. They do allow absolute monarchies in the maritime. Hold up, how did I the maritime dominion? I already forgot. Yeah, please someone write a new good name in the comments, please. But yeah. So they're coming up with a plan. The CTO will meet in the neutral lands of Scotland, which knows about this meeting, but it's a secret meeting. No one else knows. Also, newspaper have been invented, if you, in case you guys didn't know. So yeah, the news of Scotland will talk about this, but in Scotland, I think this. I'm going to highlight the city because it's pretty important. The leaders of the CTO they were going to discuss about stuff. So Oslo, Ireland, and Belgium. Also, the puppet state dominions leaders of all that they got invited because they're pretty important. So they did get invited, and they discuss about what they can do. And they actually have a plan to save Europe. So, to save Europe once and for all, we see Belgian troops launching an invasion into the Balearic Empire. Yeah, like that, a freaking surprise invasion. With the support of CTO and troops, the attack goes well. It's a slow attack, but it does conquer all of this. The Balearic Empire after this is like, what? They're absolutely furious about this. They will meet quickly in the Balearic capital and they will discuss. It takes 2 seconds and they declare war on the CTO. Ladies and gentlemen, World War I, the war of development, has begun.